Welcome to another episode of Readful Things, where I show you off some cool things that I just happen to own. And today I got a little mini stack of books. First off is going to be one of my Black Crow obsessions, which I know, Alexis, you talk about their books all the time, but they're so cool. And they did a book by Chuck Tingle called Lucky Day, and they gave it the absolute extra treatment, in my opinion. It's signed by him. It's got beautiful artwork on the inside, gorgeous. Hashtag obsessed. And then, you know, you flip open, it's got the regular fun stuff, and then the edges are cute. And then you flip it open, and I know Aardvark had a special edition, of course, but this is the one that I have, of Black Crow. I love it. If you haven't read this book, you definitely need to check it out. Chuck has some very good books. This one, 4 years ago today, I'm going to cut this part out. 4 years ago, an unthinkable disaster occurred. The low probability event. 8 million killed in a single day, each of them in an improbable, bizarre way. Strangled by parade balloon ropes, torn apart by exploding manhole covers, attacked by a chimpanzee wielding a typewriter. A day that proved anything is possible, no matter the odds. Vera, a former statistics and probability professor, lost everything that day, and she still struggles to make the sense of the unbelievable catastrophe. To her, God is dead and nothing matters. When Special Agent Lane shows up on Vera's doorstep investigating a suspiciously and statistically impossible lucky casino, he needs her to help to prove the casino's role in the LPE and offers Vera one last chance to make sense of a very unlikely world. Now again, if you haven't read anything by Chuck Tingle, he has a variety of different types of books. This is probably one of my favorites, this and Camp Damascus. And this was from Black Crow. Of course, you can get it at Waterstones, regular bookstores, different copies, but this is a Black Crow version. There's also one on Aardvark if you want to grab it, if it's still available, but it's amazing. Again, Chuck Tingle, Lucky Day. I have a ton of his books, but that's what I'm showing you today. Next, now that I just wound you into an Aardvark thing, is a copy of a book that I got recently called Local Heavens from Aardvark. And this is one of their ones that I was telling you guys probably a couple of videos back about how sometimes the inside just matches the color, sometimes they're special. They did an ombre one of this that matches, of course, the cover, which I thought was very cool. It's a bit of a chonker, not as big as some of the ones I've read here lately, but, you know, it is a bigger one. It's kind of like a sci-fi-ish type one, which I am very much into. I love sci-fi horror, make it weird, let's go. So, I'm putting this back together so I can read you what it's about. New York City, 2075. Filipino-American Nick Carraway has just moved to the heart of fractured New Americas, where he's struck by the city's contradictions. Shining corporate towers casting bleak shadows over the slums of crumbling middle class. When Nick meets alluring Jay Gatsby, he falls for Gatsby's frank, confident charm. But in a city where the wealthy flaunt tech-enhanced bodies to cheat death, surfaces aren't all they seem. And as the corporate cyberspace hacker, Nick knows no secret can stay buried forever. He's the reason they don't. His latest assignment, investigate Gatsby himself. And I know what you're thinking. I've read The Great Gatsby, Alexis. I had to read it in school. I had to read it in college. I had to read it for this. I had to read it. Yeah, so did I. Can't stand it. I know. I just admitted something that's probably going to get me taken off the book world. But the book's annoying. Everybody sucks. Every single character. But I'm not saying the book sucks, it's just not for me, because all the characters are just unbearable. However, I've been reading on this one, and I am very, very, very excited about it. Please give it a chance. Sometimes you need a weird take on a classic to really get you into it. That's all I'm going to say. As Nick becomes entangled in the dark affairs of the elite, the devastating fallout of their actions on the city's most vulnerable, he must reckon with the limits of compassion and accountability across the class and status. What takes precedence, love or truth, heart or soul? A brilliant reimagining of Fitzgerald's classic tale, Local Heavens examines the guardrails of morality and the price of desire. Now, again, I know, this is a take on a classic. I'm one of those people that I might not like all of the classics and reading them, but I am big on the twisted takes of them, like Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. I'm sorry, I liked it. Pride and Prejudice, I read it once. I've had to read The Great Gatsby quite a few times in college and in high school. and it was a chore. But this book I have just enjoyed reading so much. So give it a chance if you haven't. Local Heavens, by K.M. Fajardo. I hope I did not butcher your name. If I did, I apologize. And this is an Aardvark pick. Again, I know, Aardvark has me in a chokehold. Can't help it. They're just freaking amazing. Okay, last book I'm going to show you for this one is Murder Road by Simone St. James. I know, you're late to the bus. I got a special edition of it. Of course I did. Pink edges? Why not? I have not read this one yet, but I will. So I'm going to show you the cover. Murder Road by Simone St. James. I really like the artwork. It's like a whimsical, like 80s feel that I used to see in books. And then the hard case cover part. And then sprayed edges. I'm a sucker for some sprayed edges. Some cool artwork on the inside. And of course, it's signed by Simone. I know a lot of you guys have already read this. You're ahead of me. When it comes to like thriller, horror, mystery, I feel like I'm behind versus straight horror. So I know you guys are probably like, Alexis, we already know about this. Well, you're knowing about it again. April and Eddie have taken a wrong turn, and now they're on a long dark road late at night when they see a woman up ahead, clearly in trouble. They stop and pick her up. It's only once she's in the car that they see the blood. And then the headlights appear in the distance, racing towards them at speed. And at long last, the woman speaks, "I'm sorry, he's coming." When April and Eddie are able to escape, this time their terrifying adventure is only just beginning. The hitchhiker's injuries prove fatal, and the couple are trapped in the small town of Cold Lake Falls, prime suspects in the eyes of the local police. It turns out that this isn't the first victim to die on this stretch of road, and isn't the first time the survivors have seen something that can't be explained. But to get out of town, April and Eddie are going to have to drive down that haunted stretch of road one more time. Okay, what is up with it? Like, if you are a sheriff and you have multiple people dying on the only road in and out of town, like, I'm not saying to set up some roadblocks or maybe, I don't know, pave another road on the way out of town, or all roads automatically become haunted and cursed. I don't know. I haven't read this yet, and now I'm very eager to, because I need to know, is there somebody just murdering people straight out, or is this a supernatural, you're stuck in this town type situation? Or is everybody already dead, and that's the reason they can't get out? I don't know. So, catch my review on this one later.